Yeah. Hello. So yeah, I've kind of missed out on a few death battles, mainly three. Ghost Rider versus Spawn. Sorry if I butchered this one. Shirigari versus Mahito, and the remake of Master Chief versus Doomslayer. I have not seen either of them as I last stopped with Kratos versus Azura. But yeah, I'm now here, and I'm actually going to be watching all of them now. Well, separately, of course, but I definitely do want to catch up on Death Battle because I do like the content. So yeah. And also, I guess I just say this. I don't know either of them, Ghost Rider or Spawn, so I'm kind of going into this kind of blind, to be honest, because I don't know either of them. So yeah. But yeah. Hey everyone, it's me, Super YouTuber. Today, I'm reacting to Ghost Rider vs. Spawn of Death Battle. Let's get this started. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Fight!
Ghost Rider versus Spawn, the spirit of vengeance.
But yeah, I'm not going to skip a Death Battle just because I don't know the characters. Hell, I could probably even know more of the characters more if I actually watch it. Right, who will win a Death Battle? But yeah, I'm not going to skip a Death Battle just because I don't know the characters. I can probably get into the character once I learn more about them.
Chasing the thrill of certain doom by performing death-defying stunts. Following the example of his adoptive father, Crash Simpson. Until the day Crash lived up to his name and got cancer, heartbroken, and without enough Wampa fruit to save him, Johnny turned to the only thing that could. Chemotherapy. Oh! To cure Crash's cancer, Johnny sold his soul to Mephisto, king of the 8th layer of hell. Only for Crash to actually live up to his name right after. But instead of scooping up Johnny's soul, Mephisto had something else in mind. He bound Johnny to an instrument of divine wrath, Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance. So Johnny Blaze lived up to his name and burst into hellfire. An undead skeleton biker with a sick-ass hog. The 5th scariest Nick Cage performance. The stuntman from hell.
Huh.
Called himself.
Yeah, so he just burnt off his whole flesh off and just became skeleton.
Okay, then how about the Ghost Rider? Sure, we definitely didn't forget that we named the character the same thing only 5 years earlier. All you. For Earth sinners and scumbags. He's strong enough to pull down skyscrapers, blow up mountains, and cause earthquakes that can be felt across whole countries. Don't even think about fighting back. He can remake his whole body from the hellfire that engulfs him, making him immune to all physical damage. Only holy weapons that target his soul can harm him. It's not just his body. His whole arsenal is hellfire. Ghosty can breathe.
The power of hell compels thee.
A shotgun packed with fiery rounds, or a flaming missile barfed right out of his mouth. Life goals. And he can imbue other objects with hellfire, such as his hell cycle. Oh, this badass bike can outpace Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which can cross the universe in seconds.
Huh.
Fire is a weapon in and of
Nice.
itself, whether shot out of his hands, raining down from the sky, or released from his
The flaming piss! My super laser piss!
Scorched flesh. Hellfire is so deadly, it can burn away your very soul. This technique would be mastered by Johnny's successor, his own brother, Danny Ketch. Oh yeah, Johnny's not the only Ghost Rider, and Danny was the first to master their most famous move. You know, the one that burns your soul to smithereens with just a
look into my eyes. Have a nice death. Yeah, I got it from King of Skill. What do you expect from me?
No matter how small or righteous, is reflected back. A biblical punishment. Obliterating your soul. It even works on other Ghost Riders. Like when Johnny and Danny got into a staring contest and Danny actually depowered Johnny. Eyes
really?
Goes to the soul, so the Ghost Rider must be able to match his victim's gaze for the pen and stare to work. Some people have survived it, like the Punisher supposedly because he didn't regret his actions, but it did work on him on other occasions. Well, Johnny can adjust how deadly it is, and it doesn't necessarily have to kill you. He can use the stare to read minds, force you to confess info, or just show you the error of your ways. Remember,
please learn your mistakes.
With the kind Johnny battling the demon Zarathos in a war of control.
Classic Faustian bargain. All the power in the world, but if you want it, it uses you. Because if Johnny gives in, the demon's full might will take over, and then everything is screwed.
Everyone died. The end. There we go.
Is boundless. He can open up portals between dimensions, control the elements, and ensnare an entire city, and fly all the way to Asgard, which is a literal infinite distance away.
He's managed
What?
some of Marvel's heaviest hitters, like Thor, World War Hulk, and Doctor Strange. Hell, Strange said Zarathos is a threat to all realms, mortal and immortal.
Hyperbole? Think again. The Archangel Zadkiel said that the power of the Ghost Rider could threaten all of existence, and even bring down heaven itself.
Jesus.
Or an army of Ghost Riders did just that. Yeah, an army. The spirits of vengeance are legion.
An army?
Since the Great Flood, humans have been bonded to the vestiges of God's power to act as his divine wrath on Earth. A sort of heavenly black ops.
Why are you right? Why are you right, Satan?
Words, he's still a demon.
Both? Neither? Despite being one of the greatest entities in existence, it's unclear. What we do know is that ages ago, Zarathos feasted on souls and battled Mephisto for rulership of his realm. Mephisto, ever the trickster, claimed victory and gained control of Zarathos forevermore. Hence how he could bond him to Johnny.
But Zarathos got his revenge against that big red bitch with another Ghost Rider, Alejandra Jones. Bet you wish you had one more day to fix that hole in your chest, huh?
Comic book fan punching bag though he may be, Mephisto is unbelievably powerful. A battle with him could cause omniversal Armageddon, fitting as his fight with Galactus rents the cosmos asunder.
And Galactus' fights can destroy all of Marvel's infinite multiverse. That's the kind of awesome power at Zarathos' disposal. Total cosmic annihilation.
It
Jeez.
was no surprise when Johnny went down to the underworld and took Hell's throne for himself, usurping the devil that ruined his life and finally grabbing destiny by the handlebars.
Scoring the total power of hell itself, plus a sick
Nice.
grade, the damnation stare, which skips the whole every pain you've ever inflicted thing and just sends you straight to hell. No shot.
As they say,
Yeah, you're going straight to hell and you're gonna like it.
that wears the crown. Johnny began an obsessive crusade to capture all of Hell's escaped demons. But by using his new power to damn them to hell, he began absorbing their evil, feeding off of it, and it corrupted him. Once again, Johnny Blaze was a man possessed.
In
Uh-oh.
truth, Johnny was just as trapped by hell's power as he'd always been, and he needed Danny's help to pull him out of the darkness.
Though he gave up Hell's throne, the Ghost Rider continues his war against demons without and within, mentoring his fellow Ghost Riders in the ways of vengeance, always prowling the highways for the evil and the profane.
An unstoppable engine of judgment that, with just a glance, could make Galactus himself shit his pants.
Maybe one day he'll find salvation in the eyes of one of his victims.
'Cause they sure as hell won't find any in his.
Yeah, so basically just Skeleton Rider that basically becomes like basically became like a Skeleton Rider that actually is very powerful and now kind of a ruler of hell.
The privileges
Neat.
of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robin Hood,
Yeah, sorry I'm not really talking a lot within this. Like I said, I don't know much about Ghost Rider or Spawn.
Over 8 times the national
So yeah, I'm sort of like in the blank when it comes to these franchises. I'm still gonna watch this. I'm still interested. After all, I like Death Battle, but I am gonna be a bit more like, eh.
Up at robinhood.com/gold.
So yeah.
Involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match and must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Alright, let's see what Spawn like has.
If Al Simmons was one thing, he was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army and the CIA's most decorated assassin, Simmons upheld democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun, painting the third world in red, white, and blue, but mostly red.
Until his final fateful mission when, per his boss's orders, Al was fired.
Oh.
Thing was only getting started because Al's immortal soul was on a one-way trip to hell.
Where he cut a deal with Malvosia, the big, naked lord of the Eighth Circle of Hell.
Oh.
By their pact, Simmons would be reborn a Hellspawn, a superpowered commander of Hell's armies, in exchange for seeing his wife one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're just asking to get monkey's blood.
Al Simmons returned from the dead as a decaying zombie 5 years later, after his wife had already remarried and had a daughter.
There, you saw her. Now get back to work, bitch.
Thus was
Yeah. Yeah. You saw your wife. Get back to work, bitch.
So
Oh, the funny comment, boomstick.
being the coolest thing ever. Look upon his edge wizard and despair.
Spawn would violently defend New York's downtrodden, while slowly uncovering the full breadth of his demonic powers.
He's like a walking superpower encyclopedia. He can fly, teleport, turn invisible and intangible, move things with his mind, make force fields, control the elements and the weather, and even stop time. Speaking of time,
Really?
he flies so fast, he literally breaks into other dimensions and smashes time as a concept.
He can manipulate matter, shape-shifting his own body or transmuting other objects and people. He can even control and absorb your soul.
Wait, Wiz, if he can rearrange molecules and crap, why doesn't he just fix his uggo face?
Well,
Yeah,
he
why?
tried to do that, but Malvosia cursed him so that he could only make himself, yeah.
It's petty trolling like
Oh.
you were thrown in hell.
To be fair,
I
he
see.
can achieve a similar result with illusions and mental manipulation. He can read and control minds, implant and replace memories, or simply drive you mad.
Ugh.
Do all this crazy shit because he runs on necroplasm. Basically, hell juice.
You're not wrong. Necroplasm is the energy that makes up hell itself. Al's undead body is composed of 400 pounds of it.
He can wield it like an energy blaster empowered by the sins of others. Spawn can absorb your evil and feed off of it. By simply walking on Earth, Spawn feels all of humanity's pain all at once.
He's even absorbed the sins of 8 million New Yorkers instantly, cleansing them of their evil.
Like Jesus?
Or he can do the reverse and make you experience the full weight of your own
Oh.
feeling every bit of pain you've ever inflicted on others over your whole life.
Like some sort of penance.
Though Spawn's necroplasm comes with a catch.
Yeah, he's got a limited amount of the stuff, and it drains every time he uses his powers.
Yeah.
If he runs out, he's dragged back to hell.
Even depowered, Spawn can rely on his elite military training in hand-to-hand combat. He's even fought Batman to a standstill.
And as befits his past profession, he loves his big-ass 90s guns.
Though his greatest weapon is the sentient being he's genetically and spiritually bonded to, his cloak. Letha of the 7th House of K.
You ever
Well?
wonder why his cape's red? Nope, well, now you are, and it's red because it's made from the apple Eve ate in the Garden of Eden. It's literally made of original sin. Oh, and also the souls of a million
Huh.
sinners, including every one of Hell's victims. Also a touch of vampire for good measure.
What?
7 Letha is constantly evolving. It can act independently to defend Spawn with an infinite stream of chains,
Huh.
transform into weapons, or drain people of their power. It is the most potent weapon Hell has ever created.
It even helps Spawn beat the primordial dark god Gurzon, who can destroy and eat your soul with just a glare.
Except the souls bonded to Spawn acted as a buffer, allowing him to survive.
You'd think with an arsenal like that, he'd be unstoppable. But Hellspawns have a weakness to holy weapons and can be killed permanently if decapitated by one.
Though Spawn has managed to survive this in the past. No, Spawn's greatest weakness is his own, how do I put this, stupidity.
So Spawn fought this angel lady, Angela. Great name for an angel. She had this dimensional lance that could wipe Hellspawn out of existence, and Spawn got it. But instead of, being cautious around a mysterious angel weapon that hurts him, he just had to push the big shiny button and activate it on himself.
And so,
Oh my
Spawn
God.
was destroyed until he reconfigured reality to undo his own inexistence.
There we are, good as new. That has to be the first time we've seen someone accidentally kill themselves and survive.
On his quest to
Oh yeah, if I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to come back.
a serial killer ice cream man, a demonic clown, and even his old boss remade by heaven into an anti-Spawn. He's even encountered other Hellspawn.
Killing bad guys might seem counterintuitive would have if you worked for a Hell Lord. But it actually just adds more souls to Malvosia's army. An army Spawn would have to lead in a war with heaven that had killed all of humanity.
Yeah.
Because the reason Malvolgia chose
Probably makes
Al
sense to just
as
kill,
commander
like,
wasn't
you
that he
know,
was some
bad guys.
great warrior. It was because Al had proven that he was the best at taking orders.
All his life and all his death, Al was nothing more than a hired gun.
But he knew it, and he would do so no more.
So Spawn marched down to hell and ripped Malvosia's head off. With a scream so loud it echoed through all of reality, Spawn became the king of the...
So they both are rulers of hell.
As king, Spawn is literally a part of hell itself, gaining access to an unlimited pool of energy that increases 100-fold with every heartbeat. He's effectively omnipotent in there, and strong enough to challenge other Hell Lords like Mammon and Satan.
He got so strong, the only thing left was to finally resolve the war between heaven and hell.
But Spawn needed help from the being who created this God and Satan to begin with, the mother of existence, Gaia.
She wasn't cool with her kids being total assholes, so she appointed Spawn to be the universe's savior.
By eating the fruit from the Tree of Life, Spawn became truly divine, capable of battling God and Satan in a stalemate for eternity that extinguished all life on Earth.
And each of them are powerful enough to create and control infinitely sized universes.
Spawn broke the stalemate by letting God and Satan destroy him, only for Gaia to separate the two from the reality they threatened.
Huh.
Just like that time with the Lance, Spawn respawned and recreated the Earth. Poof, good as new.
Finally freed of the weight of heaven and hell, Al asked to be reborn as a human. But he knew in his heart he deserved to carry on his undead penance in perpetuity.
He's a creature of the 90s, Wiz. He won't be happy unless he can instantly brood over the injustice of his own existence.
Though if you threaten the alley he calls home, beware. Because Spawn will turn whatever's left of your life into a living hell.
Interesting. So now I know both about Ghost Rider and Spot, and yeah, as I can have a good time talking about it. They both are basically, they both have ruled hell, and they both have powers.
Or try something new with
I was really going to give it to Ghost Rider because, you know, because it seems like the powers were just unlimited, while Spawn was limited. But since, you know, he's a big ruler of hell, and since, you know, divine, which, holy, I think Spawn's going to take the win. Because now that he's an angel, he's going to have, like, a bit of a holiness in him as well.
in Connecticut, help is available for problems.
So he can fight both angels and demons, so he has to have some holy weapons since now he got to divine. So that will kill Ghost Rider since he's weak to holy weapons.
In Michigan, New Jersey.
So I'm going to say that Spawn gets the win here.
Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only.
I could be wrong, but hey, that's how Death Battle works. Gotta take a little bit of a gamble.
Casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends March 16th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
Also, yes, I guess we get gamble. Yeah, just like any other game, go contact them.
We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a Death Battle! Let's see how this goes. Bruh! Alright, let's see how this goes. Immediately gets an ad.
Nights like these drive men insane. Brimstone in the air. Something's coming. If it wants a piece of me, it'll be hell to pay.
Go back to the pit you squirmed from, Hellspawn.
Alright, here we go. Aye!
Kid, it's nothing personal. Vengeance calls.
Oh yeah, that meter that showed us how much stuff that Spawn can do.
Sloppy. You fight like a bum.
You've earned your damnation.
Oh, go back to hell. That was quick. Yeah, endless now. He's a ruler. Yeah, he has powers ruling of hell. Now get back over here. I'm going to show you endless power. I say that guy because Spawn power seems like more powerful than Ghost Rider's as well. Yeah, like a time stop. What was Ghost Rider supposed to do about that? Yeah, now they're both rulers. Nah! Yeah, the angel this. Yeah, yeah.
Do not disguise your wickedness. God forbid.
Pew! Alright! The power of Christ compels thee! What? Wait, oh!
Simmons, your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul.
Huh?
I eat sin for breakfast. Have a taste of your own goddamn medicine.
The power of Christ compels thee! Oi! Gee!
It's like you said, nothing personal.
Eat Christ! Alright, what's correct? Spawn 1!
Literally. This was a nail-biter of a battle that pitted Ghost Rider's immeasurable power against Spawn's skill and versatility. Let's break this down into 4 categories.
Okay.
First up, power. Divine Spawn could match God and Satan, who could create universes. Similar in scale to Ghost Rider's bouts with a lot of the powerhouses in Marvel.
But Zarathos was different. Remember, his power can match that of Mephisto and Galactus, who can threaten all of Marvel's infinite cosmic reality, far greater than any Cosmos Spawn has ever
Yeah.
had. Even though Spawn's
That's
battle
fair.
against Satan
I
and
mean,
Mephisto
look at like
comics
the actual
was
powers, like abilities they have. I feel Spawn's was more powerful and better than Ghost Rider's.
Ghost Rider may take power, but remember, Johnny actively resists Zarathos' influence, so Spawn may have had time in the fight to learn and adapt to Ghost Rider before
Yeah.
he full blue
Yeah,
fury.
going ability-wise, I just felt that Spawn was just better.
He spent decades in military combat and is a master martial artist, whereas Johnny more so relies on his invincibility.
The ultimate
Yeah.
stuntman. Even with his crazy powers, Ghost Rider was a lot more direct than Spawn, pretty much entirely focused on attacking the soul.
Which doesn't bode well for his versatility. Spawn can stop time, manipulate matter, turn intangible, control minds.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, this is like, what the hell is Ghost Rider gonna do against this?
Spawn had a huge advantage
Yeah.
in this category.
Though with his invincibility, way greater power, and the ability to scorch your soul to nothing, Ghost Rider could score the win through brute force, right?
Not exactly.
Nope.
The last piece of the puzzle is their resistances. Basically, who was harder to kill. Spawn's constant mainlining of humanity's collective sin and pain meant he could survive attacks on his soul, including the penance stare. Just like he resisted a very similar attack from Urizen.
Best of all, remember the time he rewrote reality to undo his own inexistence?
There was nothing the Ghost Rider could do to overpower
Yeah.
him. And that time with the Lance wasn't planned, it was purely instinctual. He could replicate it any time he wanted, like in his fight with God and Satan.
So how do you put Spawn down for good? Well, you can't. At least Johnny and Zarathos could.
Unlike how Ghost Rider's soul has been vulnerable to attack before, like when Danny used the penance stare to depower Johnny.
This sort of thing actually happens a lot, even in recent comics. The whole reason Johnny and Zarathos are bonded in the first place is because Zarathos' soul was manipulated by Mephisto.
And
Huh.
not only does Spawn have plenty of experience manipulating souls, he can replicate the effect of the penance stare itself.
And just think about that. A penance stare on Zarathos would mean he's feeling the pain from every penance stare that he
Yeah, extremely painful. That's like Jesus.
Stare, on the other hand, actively helped Spawn, sending him to hell where he gets a literal infinite power boost.
And it wasn't just Spawn's soul powers that had spelled trouble. He had other ways to bypass Ghost Rider's immortality too, like transmutation, rewriting reality, or just straight up stealing his powers, which has worked on multiple Ghost Riders in the past.
Giving Spawn the final.
Yeah, plus the whole angel form, you can just go up to heaven, and then you know, you have like little angel powers as well, like angel and demon. Like he's a mixture of both. So you can just defeat Ghost Rider with angel power, since you know he was weak to it.
That was one hell of a fight, and at least Johnny went out in a blaze of glory.
The
Yeah.
winner is Spawn.
Yeah.
Time on Death Battle.
The next time we got anime, My Hero Academia versus Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I don't know either anime before anyone says anything.
See more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
So yeah, that was Ghost Rider vs. Spawn. Like I said, I didn't know either of them, but it was pretty fun to watch. Which is a simple fun battle that was just pretty much entertaining. Not much more I can really say. But yeah, we hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, next time I am going to be watching this. See you all then. Bye bye. Whee!